Hi, it's Rachel from Caramel and Cream. Today I'm going to show you one of my slide back Saturday projects. Every Saturday over on my blog I use something that's either retired or been with Stampin' Up for quite a while. And this time I'm making a card using this lovely DSP which is retired, and I was really sad actually when this DSP did go. It had beautiful colours and patterns for masculine cards, which I think everyone tends to struggle with. So this is called Going Places, and I'm going to show you how to make it. So first of all, you're going to need a few pieces. You're going to need a card blank that measures 5 by 5 when folded. This is a vanilla colour. You're going to need some DSP. This is same pattern, different colour shade. That's from the Going Places. That's 5 by 5. You need another piece of DSP. Sorry, I'm just fiddling around, in a contrasting colour. And that measures 2 by 4.5. Some vanilla, which measures 2 by 4. Then you need a piece of scrap DSP, again in the contrasting colours that'll match. This is going to be for our outer circle here. And then some vanilla, which we're going to stamp our anchor on for the inner circle. And then lastly, another piece of vanilla, which we're going to use for our sentiment. And the stamp set that we're using is called Guy Greetings. You can still get this, it's still available, and we're going to use the anchor. And what I've done is I've mounted on my block, I'll show you, I've got it ready, 2 of the words I've picked, husband and you're my anchor, and I've lined them up on my grid paper just like so, so that they're relatively straight, and then popped my block on top, and that will hold them so that when we stamp it looks like it's the one stamp. Okay, so you can mix and match whichever sentiments you want. So firstly, we're going to take our long piece of vanilla DSP and our anchor stamp, which I have ready. I've got my foam pad underneath just because it is photopolymer. I'm going to use the colour Sahara Sand. And we're just going to randomly stamp this. Over our vanilla. Okay, just set that to the side to dry for a moment. And we'll bring in our piece of scrap vanilla, and we'll stamp another anchor on that while we have that out. Again, just set it to the side to dry off a little bit. And then we'll bring in our basic black and our other piece of vanilla. So I'm going to pick it up. And our sentiments. I'm just going to ink that up. Push firmly. I find the basic black takes a little bit longer to dry than our other inks, so when you are using it, just let it dry off to the side just for a moment so you don't smudge it. I've done that a couple of times when I've just been a bit too hasty, run it through the big shot, and I found that it's smudged. So where they're drying, we can start layering up our background piece. So as you can see on my first one, we did the black, so this time we're going for the lighter version. Just going to flip it over and use some Tombow. Just around the edges. Splodge in the middle. And of course, when you're making this yourself, you can use any of our current DSPs and just mix and match the colours however you want. It's a good thing with Stampin' Up, it is very, very versatile. And once you have an idea, you can just transfer it to different stamp sets and colourways. So that's the main base part. So we're going to next bring in our DSP. This is the one that measures 2 by 4.5. I'm going to bring in the triple banner punch. This has different grooves for different widths. so you can make banners going thinner to thicker, and the 2 inch is the widest part. So I'm going to open that up and we're going to slot it in the way that you want it, so it's the right way round, if that makes sense. So that your straight edge will be this end, and make sure you've pushed all the way to the end. You can flip it over just to see that it's in the right way, push down, and that gives you that lovely little tail. And the same with our anchor piece. Oops, can't pick it up. Put it in the way that you want it to go. Make sure it's pushed all the way down to the end and punch, and you have this lovely little tail ends. Now with our other bits and pieces, we need to cut these out with the Big Shot and using the circle framelets. So I have the Big Shot just to the side of me here off camera, but here's the layering framelets. And how I decide which size I want, once I've stamped the image, I basically just pick kind of randomly which one I think is going to go and just lay it over, and that gives a nice central, nice around the whole way around your stamped image. So that's probably the one you want to go to, and I used the same size for the sentiment and the anchor. So then what I needed to do then to make sure I had the nice mount edge was I took that back and decided and looked which was the next size up, which is this one over here, and that will cut out our DSP so that when you layer it you'll just have a tiny little edge. Does that make sense? Hope so. So just off camera, like I say, I have my Big Shot, so I will show you how I layer them up. I have to do 2 running throughs because obviously we're using one circle twice. I have my magnetic platform cutting pad. Mine are a little bit warped, as you can see, very used, so it doesn't quite hold as firm as it should, but it still does work. So pop where you want that to take the image from, pop that central round there, and then just lay your other cutting plate on top. And just, sorry about the volume if it's a little bit loud as it clicks and squeaks through. So that's one lot. I'm just going to lift those off. And then we're taking that smaller circle again, and we're going to lay this over for the husband's sentiment. I'm just going to line that up again on top of my magnetic platform, the sandwich layer on top, and run that through. I think the Big Shot was the first biggest expense that I paid out when I started card making, and it's still going strong. They are absolutely fabulous tools, and I'd really be lost without mine. So now we're ready to start layering up our card. So firstly we're going to lay these together and just slightly offset them. So just put glue on the half side at the top. You only need a tiny little bit here to begin with. Let's just hold these together. So line across the top, but leave a little gap here. And then we're going to use a little bit of baker's twine. This is always a little bit fiddly, isn't it, on camera? So let's see how we go. What I did was I just made sure I had enough to wrap around a couple of times and snipped off. And then I just tied sort of a rough knot, really. It was just for a little bit of interest. Don't pull too tight because you don't want to bend your paper. And just slightly to the side. Just a little double knot so it doesn't unravel. Okay, and just trim a little bit as if you need to. And then we're going to use some more Tombow now on the back, now they're joined together. This time we can go all the way down. We're just going to lay that across to the side again. To see with the nice contrasting layers. Just like that, sit. You might need to just hold it for a moment just because you have got that baker's twine underneath. I'm bringing our circle DSP and our anchor. I'm just going to put a tiny dribble of Tombow around. Make sure you get your DSP the right way round. And this time I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. And 2 is enough, I think, just to pop that up. And we're just laying that over side and leaving enough room here to pop our sentiment in, which again just a couple of dimensionals. If you wanted to, you could put a card background on this just to outline it as well if you wanted to try and match it in. And it just pops into the corner there. And there we go, really simple card. Hope it's given you an idea of what you can do for some of the mail cards. I know, like I say, I really struggle when it comes to making masculine cards. But there's a quick idea using some of our retired paper. So if you're like me and you just cannot get rid of your Stampin' Up stash, because I just hate to give away papers and things, it's a good way of using those bits up. If you'd like to order any of our current products, you can use the link below and that will take you over to my blog page and you can shop there 24/7. Any questions, just drop me an email. Thanks for watching. Bye.